Hey guys, Thunderset here, bringing you an archetype I'm actually pretty excited to visit that I've kind of liked, and that is Fortune Fairy. So we got Carly Carmine as a playable character. She actually has a lot of unique skills, and honestly I think the best one is one you get through level ups, so that's pretty useful. We're using it now. It's called Draw Loan. What does Draw Loan do? You can add this card, Lucky Loan, from your deck to your hand for no cost whatsoever except for your next draw phase, so you'll lose your next draw phase. But obviously if you can end your turn in one turn with this card, you won't have a next draw phase and you pay nothing. So it's a really strong skill, and it's a pretty strong card for the archetype. Target one Fortune Fairy monster you control, special summon one spellcaster monster from your hand or deck whose original level is one level lower than that monster. Also, during your next turn after this card resolves, you cannot normal summon or special summon except for spellcasters. We don't feel that negative effect because we're using all spellcasters, but we're able to use it on most of these monsters. If we use it on Chi, it would bring out An. If we use it on Hu, it would bring out In. So I don't know how to say all these monsters' names exactly, but if we used it on her, we could bring out our Mystic Piper. Now Mystic Piper is the boy I love. We can bring out Mystic Piper, like I said, with Lucky Loan from her, or with Hikari's normal effect to just be drawn and special summon. Then you bring out a Mystic Piper. That's two spellcasters in your graveyard plus +1 thanks to Mystic Piper. So what are we doing with all those spellcasters? Obviously Quintet Magician with 2 Materialized Fusions and 2 copies of him. But we also have room for some synchros. How are we working in synchros? This tuner that I absolutely love, Witch of the Black Rose. This card cannot be special summon when this card is normal summon while you control no cards. Draw one card, reveal it. If the card you drew is not a monster, send it to the graveyard, destroy this card. So 75% of our deck is monsters, so usually you're just getting a +1 of a monster, and you know Fortune Fairy monsters, when you draw them, they get to special summon. So you have a level 4 tuner, you draw her, that's level 6, you draw her, that's 7, you draw her, that's 5. So you have that synchro pool open to you. You draw her, that's a 9 with Vermilion, but we're only running one An, because An will let you add one of your banished spellcasters, or no, sorry, she banishes a spellcaster from your deck, who will add a banished monster to your hand. This is all when they're special summon. She will draw one card, but your opponent gets to draw one card too. She tributes to special summon a level 1. You're usually going to do that Mystic Piper play, and she will destroy a back row. Just to give you a quick overview of what they do, and you remember what I said about Lucky Loan. Here we have Miracle Stone. It's not exactly a new card, but it's a very strong card. You can only control one. All spellcaster type monsters gain 500 for each Fortune Fairy. Once per turn, when an attack is declared involving your Fortune Fairy, so if you attack or get attacked, you get to draw one card. And of course, their effects will trigger when you draw one card. And then just 2 Materialized Fusion for 2 Quintet plays if we need it. We have plenty of draw power to get to it, so you're really not feeling it. Overall, this deck is fun. I don't know if it's the fastest way to Quintet. It's a very cool archetype. I believe this is the best skill, but I'm going to try probably most of the skills. We'll see if they're even viable. But it's a really fun deck, guys. Gets out Quintet nice and easy. Your opponent doesn't really know what you're doing. Works out really cool. So I hope you guys enjoy the replays, and thanks for watching. Alright, fighting the new Seto Kaiba. So I like Carly Carmine way more than Dark Signer Carly Carmine. I haven't actually seen all of 5Ds, so I didn't see any Dark Signers or anything. But it would have been cool to have the normal Carly Carmine first before we got the Dark Signer. But what are you going to do? Here we're fighting a Blue Eyes who played a Sage and set 2 back row. We're going to top deck a Chi. That's going to special summon her. We're going to draw a card, but our opponent's going to draw a card. That's okay though. We draw our Hikari. She's going to special summon herself, and she's going to get rid of herself for a Mystic Piper. That's the core of this deck, really. You tribute that Mystic Piper. I don't know if I'd run this deck without Mystic Piper. So here, we bring out our girl. She wasn't going to do anything, and we don't have a level 10 Synchro, so that Regeki break was pretty pointless. Here uses a Cosmo Brain, though. Tributes whatever that, or the Sage, for a Blue Eyes. We only have a little 0 defense Chi. He chooses to go Alternative Dragon and pop his effect regardless. Now uses Stone of Ancient for another Blue Eyes. It's gonna pop us for 3100, but we're okay. We have Miracle Stone. I didn't play Miracle Stone because you gotta remember, Witch of the Black Rose, you can't control any cards, so we can play it after we use her. And here we are using her. You normal summon her, you get to draw one. We drew into our who's going to summon herself. Now we're going to synchro that 4+3 into a Samurai Destroyer, so we still got more to go, but with that synchro, we have 5 unique spellcasters already in our graveyard with 1 to spare. That's a Quintet Magician wipe with our follow-up of a Samurai Destroyer. Here I thought I lost because we're only at 900 life points, and he uses Deep Eyes White Dragon, but it only does 600 to us, so we got lucky. Pop him with the Quintet, then finish him with the Samurai Destroyer. Absolutely crazy duel versus a good deck, guys. Great stuff. Okay, here we are facing the dark version of ourself. Going second. This deck can go first or second. Obviously going second's better because you want to draw into a lot of your effects. But we do have first turn plays with our Witch of the Black Rose. Here we're fighting Fortune Fairies, guys. So we're the light, or Fortune Ladies. So we're the light version, she's the dark version. This is anime RP right here, for sure. She's doing her whole shebang, getting out her water, getting those +2s, fusing into every... She doesn't have a cutscene. They should have given her some sort of cutscene. Every character should have some sort of cutscene. Here we top deck into a Hikari. That's perfect card to top deck into, especially when you have plenty of Mystic Pipers in your deck waiting for you. We bring him out. He's going to give us that +1. We throw an N. N's gonna come out, destroy that back row. Then there is no back row to destroy, never mind. Then we normal summon our Witch of the Black Rose. That's a Bryonic Dragon. Send one more chi to the graveyard to return that Lady Every, and that's all we need for a 1-turn quintet, guys. Hit him for lethal with 1 monster. He doesn't even allow it. Great stuff. Alright, here's Jaden Ubel. We're going first. First turn plays are kind of tough with this deck, as you can see, but we can use an N face up and a Miracle Stone just to start us off. That's not a bad play because you're going to get a +1. Might get your combos going even if you take a little damage. Like we're about to. We got a Wild Heart, but that's a Hikari. Hikari's going to bring out our Mystic Piper, but it'll still be too tempting for our opponent to want to do that damage. So our Mystic Piper will be safe and we'll get that +1. Here we top deck into a Chi. That's going to be another +1. Like, she should have just had a cutscene for a Chi or something, you know? But we get a Witch of Black Rose. Mystic Piper tributes himself. We draw into a who's going to special summon. She would add a banished card to our hand, but obviously we have no banished cards. We normal summon our Black Rose. That's a Samurai Destroyer. Now we're using Draw Alone, guys. We're going to Draw Alone from our Chi, and we're just going to lose our next draw phase. So that's going to be 2,000 plus our Samurai Destroyer. Not quite lethal yet, but we're going to get that +1 from our monsters attacking. We top deck another Chi, which is unfortunate because she can't special summon to give us that +1, but we do massive damage to our opponent. He uses Master of Miracle Fusion time, so he gets to Miracle Fusion into a Elemental Hero Shining. He's 3,200, way over our Samurai Destroyer already, but then he has Power of the Guardian to the mix. He does attack into one of our Fortune Fairies though, which does give us the +1, thinning our deck down to 7 cards. Can't draw those, so we're going to use our Mystic Piper as our draw. We get our Witch, which means normal summon blow, nothing we can do. We switch to defense. Our opponent does top deck another monster, so we needed both those monsters in defense, but he does attack a Fortune Fairy, which gives us the +1 with Miracle Stone, which lets us draw into a Hikari. We have no Mystic Pipers left, only 5 cards left in our deck. Still can't draw our Magicalized Fusion, only 4 cards left in the deck. We set another monster. The spellcasters in the graveyard aren't going to be a problem, it's just getting the actual spell. And this is like as long as it takes, guys. We get another +1 from our Miracle Stone to bring them out. But you see how Miracle Stone is floating monsters to us, making it really hard for our enemy to get over us. And now we finally get our Magicalized Fusion, which is going to destroy everything but that Elemental Hero Shining, who's going to be protected by that Power of Guardian counter. But we're way over 900 of him. Up to 5k thanks to Miracle Stone. Plenty of damage for lethal. Set a monster just in case. Great stuff, guys. Okay, here we are facing a Seto. This is new Seto. To dual level down. Losing 2 duels in a row isn't super hard to do. So here we already have Lucky Loan in our hand. We're gonna just normal summon our Mystic Piper, hopefully draw into something to get our combos going, and we sure do not. So good thing we're fighting a Blue Eyes, who has a bunch of tuners, but hasn't swarmed the field yet. He's getting his first Blue Eyes out now, getting a new cutscene. We can watch a bit of it. Since it's a new one, he psychs you out with a blast and does not blast you. Great stuff. So, I have no skins or mats, guys. Can you believe it? Usually on it, but, new character, you know, it's kind of hard. So here we have our Black Rose. She pulls into who's got a special summon. It's tempting to have a Black Rose Dragon, but you know, we're just gonna Lucky Loan from 3, brings out a 2, that's 5 plus 4. We could have made a Vermilion, but we're just gonna go with a Bryonic. That's the power of Lucky Loan, guys. If we didn't even have Lucky Loan in our hand, we still could have made that play with the skill Draw Loan. You just add it to your hand immediately. But it's good we didn't, because we got hit with a Ultimate Providence. So now we're gonna Magicalize Fusion regardless. I don't think it's 5 unique. Is it 5 unique? It was 5 unique, my goodness. Really fast, hit him for lethal. Even I'm surprised at that stuff, guys. Great stuff. Alright, more Seto Kaiba. Blue Eyes is popular, guys. So, I really like Fortune Fairy so far. This guy's using an awesome skin and mat. We're starting with a Black Rose. We've top decked a lot of monsters, so it scares me we might pull into a spell card, but our opponent's gonna Divine Wrath us, throwing away a Regeki Break regardless. So scratch that. Here we have our Miracle Stones, so that means we can get fast and loose. With our Fortune Fairies, we're gonna blow our skill Lucky Loan. That adds Lucky Loan right to our hand immediately, guys. Really good skill. So we're gonna use Lucky Loan to special summon her from our hand. She needs to be special summoned from your hand to hit that back row. She's special summoned from the deck, she's not going to hit that back row. But here we're hitting the back row. She has to use her Divine Wrath to lose a Blue Eyes. We use our Miracle Stone. That means when our level 500 monster attacks, we got to draw our Witch of Black Rose. Our opponent passes, we can't draw, but Mystic Piper will do all the drawing for us. We get just another Witch of Black Rose though. But we're getting another +1. Our opponent waited too late to chain that. We still got our +1 from declaring the attack. That special summons Hikari. Hikari's gonna get rid of herself for another Hikari just to thin the deck, get more monsters in the graveyard. Here our opponent's going to remove our Miracle Stone. So oh no, he summons a Blue Eyes. I thought for sure he'd summon a Spirit of White. Here he goes for our alternative dragon play. Destroys our monster with that. Normal summons a Sage of Blue. That's a Stone of Ancient in his hand, and he'll probably synchro into a Vermilion. Nope, into a Spirit Dragon. That's probably the better play than the Vermilion, honestly. Adds an alternative dragon to his hand. Could have been trouble if he had a way to summon it, but he does not. So he hits us with 2500 and ends his turn. Here we get a summon an and it's going to banish from our deck, but it's essentially just thinning our deck. So we get rid of Chi. Then we're going to set our Witch of Black Rose instead of making our Vermilion Dragon, because he would just chain to our Vermilion Dragon, and we don't want that yet. We want him to try to chain to this. So he does, in fact, try to chain to our Magicalized Fusion. But we're going to beat the chain with Quintet. We're going to beat Azure Eyes' Destruction Protection by 1 link in the chain. So Quintet goes second after Azure Eyes, which means he's going to get destroyed. Here he's going to Divine Wrath our Destruction, but it doesn't destroy our monster because we can't be destroyed. So bunch of destruction, negation, all that stuff. We normal summon a Hikari. Special summon, and our mateys totally misclick and put it in defense. Was not intentional. Super sucks, but it's just a little less damage, so it's not the end of the world for the duel. Here he summons the Spirit of White finally, banishes our back row. That means our Witch of Black Rose is going to be live, and we'll have another Miracle Stone to replace it. Only 5 cards left in our deck though. Here our opponent searches a Blue Eyes, reveals the Blue Eyes. That's his alternative dragon, but remember, you can't destroy Quintet, so he just has to destroy a defense position or mateys, who was no problem anyway. Top deck a Chi. Special summon Chi, +1 for our opponent too, but that's okay because we're going to try to end it this turn. Here comes Who. Who's got special summon in defense too. That's a black Rose to our hand. We're going to use that Miracle Stone. Swing into his Spirit. He tries to Super Rush Headlong. That's not going to kill Quintet, guys. You can't destroy him with destruction like that. Swing over that alternative dragon. down to 2 cards in our deck, down to 1 card in our deck, but here comes a second quintet. Some very long duels, guys. This deck floats, it draws. The decks or the duels take forever because when you're drawing, you're summoning your monsters who are going to help you draw even more. So on and so on until you hit those Magicalized Fusion, until you hit those quintet. But you still want to keep your spell count pretty low if you're going to use the Black Witch or Black Rose. And I love Black Rose. I love Mystic Piper. Probably wouldn't run this deck without him. I'm going to have to try without him in some of the other Fortune Fairy skills because they lock you in. You can only use Fortune Fairy monsters. But we'll see how that goes. This is probably the best version, I'm assuming. And it's fine. I love it, guys. I really like this archetype. I hope we get more. I hope they get some sort of boss monster on their own, like how Fortune Ladies have Fortune Lady Every. If we could get something like that, that'd be great. But until then, hope you guys enjoyed, and thanks for watching.